Hello, 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 and welcome back to March May's Midlife Dolly Crisis. And welcome to what could be quite a tough ride for all of us. Possibly mainly me, but who knows. So, you might remember that a little while back I decided I was going to do a Dolly downsize. So as part of that, I'm going through basically kind of each doll brand that I have and deciding on which ones I'm going to keep and which ones I'm going to get rid of. I recently did the OMG dolls, which I actually decided to keep none of them, which was a bit of a plot twist, even for me. But I think realising that I didn't actually need to keep any was kind of a relief in a way. So, you know, that felt pretty good, and obviously it meant I made quite a chunk into downsizing. I don't know if this one is going to be as easy as that, because this is actually Rainbow and Shadow High dolls. So you might recognise the box, because this was the same box that had the OMGs in. This had basically a layer of those dolls, and then underneath there were Rainbow and Shadow High dolls. I've now managed to gather, hopefully, all those dolls, all the Rainbow High dolls, and put them into this box. So they should all be in here. So without further ado, let's get digging and seeing what we've got in here. So I'm going to try and put these out in the same way that I put the LOLs out, but because they're kind of bigger dolls and I think I have more of them, it may be a bit of a stretch. So we might have to kind of put out what we can and then go through the ones on the table. It's a bit of a shame. I wanted to kind of do them all together because I felt it would be easier to do it that way, just so I could see what I've got and compare them with the other ones. But maybe we might have to have a few rounds of this before we actually make a sort of a firm conclusion. So from what I remember, I came in to collecting these dolls quite late, which meant I didn't really have any of the first season dolls until later on, when I actually got this gal here, who is, I think, the first series Poppy doll. So look, these are some of the collection anyway. Maybe I can put a few more maybe on top of them. I think that'd be okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's carry on with that. So I haven't really bought any of these dolls since the whole slime thing happened, except for this gal here. So this is Clementine or Clementine. She doesn't have a surname because they don't seem to give them surnames anymore, which is probably a good job because I think they were kind of running out of them as they were going on anyway. She's got those kind of weird legs, the ones with the kind of glitter and stuff in them. I did particularly want this one. I really liked her look, and I liked her hair. I like orange anyway, so I was, you know, kind of drawn to her. I did get a second hand actually, which was good because I didn't see her at all in the shops here in Ireland. So maybe she just didn't make it here. Maybe she didn't make it to Europe full stop. I'm not really sure. Some of these you would have seen me unboxing. Others I might have done off camera, because I did start to do that more kind of recently to myself. Mainly because I think we've all seen these dolls unboxed so many times that you're not going to want to watch dolls that have already been unboxed sort of years ago now as well. Some of these are not very new. In fact, none of them are going to be, you know, new, because this is probably the newest one I've got, and this is probably like 2 or 3 years old now anyway. So look, I think this is possibly maybe half the box, or at least part of the box. Maybe I should have a look at these and kind of make a decision based on what's out on which ones I would like to definitely keep, because I'm obviously going to gravitate more towards some than others anyway. So look, I'm going to keep this gal because I only got her earlier in the year. I'm going to keep this one as well because I kind of like the whole gothy vibes. You are noticing I'm not really mentioning many of their names. This one was called Glitch, I think. I think she's probably Shadow High more than Rainbow High anyway. So the one I just picked up before was Clementine or Clementine. So I'm probably also going to keep this Poppy that I've got here. So this again was another second-hand doll that I got, and she's currently wearing the second outfit from the winter break Poppy, which I also got. I'm also going to keep Olivia because she was one of my favourites when I unboxed her. I should really do something with the hair because it's got a lot of product in. I'd keep obviously the space buns in, but I might try and give the rest of it a bit of a wash. Some of it is quite soft, but the ends seem particularly kind of crunchy, and also there's some very crunchy bits kind of here, like look how stiff that is. It's kind of a shame, but yeah, just giving them a wash would probably really help. I'd also keep Zoe Electra because again that was another one that I really kind of liked. I really like the colouring, and I like the fact she's a bit sort of weird alien looking. And then we've got Lila. I think it was Lila Yamamoto, I think. I'll keep her because I liked her as well. So as for the others, I'm not so sure, but maybe what I will do is I will push these up to the top. We'll get some more out, and then that might give me more of an idea about whether I want to keep some of these or not. And then maybe I'll have another round of the ones that I've kind of taken from the pile. Actually, let me move this over because that's going to be a bit easier there. Okay, so let's go. I can't remember this one's name. I thought it was Delilah, but I think that's the other one who is a bit similar in colouring. I'm putting this doll on here now. She is naked, so this is Winter Break Poppy. Also, I think I took her hands out as well. So this is the one that unfortunately only had half an eyebrow. So I probably would not be keeping her, but I do actually have a spare Poppy head, which I'm probably going to put onto this body anyway. And it doesn't have any eyes in, so I'll have to pop the eyes out, which sounds slightly gruesome. I can't remember the name of this gal either. Jewel? I think it was Jewel. Jewel Ritchie. Does that sound right? Maybe that's another one. Anyway, look. This is another one that I got second hand. So her hair is not how it would have been. I think her hair would have been in a high ponytail. But she had at least one outfit, so that was good. I suppose the idea of them having two outfits was great because it did make you think of the fact that you could redress them if you wanted to, which is good. And it was kind of one of the reasons I didn't end up keeping the OMG dolls, because I just didn't really think I was going to ever redress them. Actually, this is also a newish one because this was a budget Violet. She's kind of the swimwear version, and she would have been released probably about 2 or 3 years back. We have more Dolly nudity coming up, I'm afraid. I think this was Kim. I think, maybe. Yeah, I think her name was Kim. Okay, and then this one, I think this one is Delilah. I think, possibly. So look, let me have a look and see which ones I might keep out of this lot. So I did like her, and I do like the fact she's got this kind of navy blue hair. I do have her clothes somewhere. I think I took her out of them because I was going to wash the hair. Because again, we've got the whole, you know, hard hair enough to sort of hammer a nail into the wall. But yeah, so I'm going to keep that one. I'm putting this one to one side because I'm going to try and swap the head over. But whether or not I'll keep the doll in the end, I don't know. So I'm going to put her to one side for now. I'm actually unsure about some of these. This one I would definitely not keep. Mainly because she doesn't have articulation. She's got the kind of the body where it's only got kind of the 5 points of articulation. So she would definitely be going. This one is lovely, but I kind of feel like she's just not for me, really. I think maybe I'm going to put her to one side. Possibly in the goodbye pile for now. I think with this one, I think I possibly originally bought her with the intention of actually taking her body and using it for Clementine's head, because obviously Clementine doesn't have the same articulation. But I actually quite like the legs in the end. I didn't mind them. And anyway, she's only going to be standing up anyway, so it seemed a bit silly. I think get rid of. I think on reflection, I'm probably going to keep this gal. because I did want her when she originally came out, but I never got her. This was a second-hand version, and I think she pretty much had at least an outfit. She's wearing something, so I'm guessing this is what she came with. So I'm going to keep her for now. I think maybe the rest of these can probably go. So I'm going to push these out the way, and I'm going to bring the rest of them out of the box. So this one was Daria Roslin, and she was actually my first doll that I bought from Rainbow High. So I think potentially because of that, I would probably end up keeping her. This one is Carla, and I think she was Shadow High. Again, this is one potentially I would be keeping. So this one is Bella. So this is from the West Coast. Were they called the West Coast or East Coast? I can't remember. It was some coast. They were kind of more beachy themed. And this one has also got those weird legs, I think, that you can kind of swap over, which I'm not too sure about. So this was, again, I think a Shadow High one, because she's wearing something that's a shadow on it. I did really like her when I got her, and I liked the fact that she had a bob, which was quite different to what some of the other dolls would have had. In fact, I think she was the only one to have this kind of short hairstyle. She also looks kind of alien-y, which I'd kind of liked. And also, I think she was quite reduced when I got her. So this one here, whose name I now can't remember. Onyx? Something, or was it something Onyx? Anyway, look, I really liked her, and potentially I think, again, this would be one that I'd probably end up keeping. She was, as I say, the first Shadow High doll that I got. I only really wanted to get her and then the completely white one. I didn't really like the whole sort of grey scale of all the other dolls. So yeah, potentially, we don't know yet, but potentially she might be staying. So we've got this acid green gal whose name I, again, can't remember. Was it Hayley or something? I can't remember. It was something... Was it Limestone? I can't remember. She had a weird surname that I could never remember anyway. So this one was Mina. I remember that. And then this one was a minty colour. I think she was Daphne. Okay, so look, that seems to be all of them. That's quite a lot, I think. I know that I didn't get all of them, but that is still quite a few. So, look, I already know that I'm going to keep this one because she was the first one. I did actually take her hair out and give it a wash, I think, but I might be tempted to put the ponytail back in. I'm not sure, because she had, like, I think a half ponytail kind of thing going on, and sometimes the hair just looks a bit weird if it doesn't have a proper sort of line in it or whatever. So yeah, so I'll probably keep her. And I will keep Carla. So I'm going to put her over with the others. And also I will be keeping this gal here. So I do really like mint green. But I don't know if she's going to be too similar to Zoe. But look, I'm going to put her to one side for now. And then I can always put her sort of next to her, the other one, and kind of see which one I prefer. Okay, so what else would I want out of this? I think I'd probably say goodbye to Bella. I feel like I've kind of got pink covered, really, haven't I? So I don't think I really need her. I also think maybe this one is going to go. I did really like her when I got her, but I shouldn't feel like I have to keep a doll just because at the time I really liked her. I think she can probably go as well. I feel a bit stuck with these two. I really love this whole kind of acid green, and I don't really have one which is that kind of green colour, so I think I'd probably keep her, and potentially I'd probably keep this one. So look, what I might do is I might bring the other ones back, which I've said I'm going to keep, and we'll go through those. So here we go. So this is what I've got left at the end. So potentially they aren't all going to stay. I am kind of wondering, these two are very similar here. So we've got kind of like a white vibe going on with both of them, but one of them has kind of this sort of light pink hair. I think maybe I'd keep this one rather than that one. So I'm going to pop her over in the sale pile. So let's say goodbye to Natasha there. There we go. And we're going to keep Carla. So I'm going to move her out the way. I'm also going to be keeping Daria Roslin for sure. So I'm going to put her to one side as well. And I'm also going to be keeping this one too. I can't remember her name. Was it Monique? Monique Onyx, was it? I don't know. Look, I'm going to be keeping her anyway. So I'm going to move her over. So I have said before, the whole idea of keeping dolls is that I want to actually do stuff with them. And I'd like to redress them. And I think there's a bit more potential in a way with the Rainbow and Shed of High dolls. Mainly because it's kind of a thought that's already in your head. Because so many of them came with a second outfit originally. There was always that idea that you could kind of swap bits over and stuff like that. So they felt less constrained and less kind of complete in their looks. Also, they feel a bit more, I don't want to say realistic, but they do feel a bit more realistic, I suppose, than the OMG dolls. And it feels like these could actually wear just kind of regular clothes almost. So look, Poppy is going to stay anyway. Because despite the fact this was like literally a really cheap second-hand doll, I actually really like her. I'm also going to be keeping hold of Clementine. Mainly because I only really got her this year, so I kind of feel a bit bad getting rid of her. Obviously, you know, I'm going through this downsize now, but once it's done, I'm hoping that I'll be able to carry on doing it as I get more dolls, or, you know, as I feel that dolls need to move on. So yeah, so I'll keep her for now. I've had a bit of a shuffle round. So I'm definitely going to be keeping Zoe because she is so unusual, I guess, because of being green-skinned. So she will stay, and I think Daphne's going to go. So I'm going to put Daphne to one side. I think I'll be keeping these two. I really like this kind of dark navy colour and stuff. So yeah, potentially I would maybe like to give this doll a bob because I think it would actually really suit her. And it feels weird having two dolls with the same kind of hair colour, which have essentially just sort of long straight hair. I mean, I know this one has got hers in a ponytail, but yeah, again, her hair could probably do with a wash too. So yeah, so I'm going to keep this gal here, and I will also keep Kim as well. Olivia is also going to be staying, and I'll also be keeping Lila Yamamoto, which again brings me back to these two here, which I think possibly I'd just be tempted to keep them for now and make a decision about them later. So I do really like this acid green colour, and I did actually buy the last version of Jade Hunter before this line, which was when they were wearing those kind of really glamorous outfits, and she had one with kind of like that whole cage thing that lit up, but I never unboxed her. And the more I think about it, the more I think I'll probably just try and sell her in her box because, you know, I might get a bit more for her. And this one kind of ticks the boxes with the whole green look and the whole kind of gothy look. So, yeah, so that's kind of one of the reasons I would keep her. And with this one, I just like the orange. I like the fact that she's got a different kind of skin tone as well. And she's also got the henna hands. She also came with the second outfit, so I do have that somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to keep her as well. So look, I'm going to bring on all the people that I'm keeping. Well, not all the people, all the dolls that I'm keeping. I'm going to bring on and we'll have a final look at them together. So here are the Rainbow and Shadow High dolls that I'm going to be keeping for now. So there's actually 14 of them. I think I probably got rid of half. I'm not sure exactly. I've never really counted them, so I don't really know. And as Mana over at Dolls Rescued has always said, she's not counting her dolls. And I don't feel you need to count your collection, because it's not really the quantity, it's rather kind of the quality and what you kind of want out of them, I think, that's more important. So yeah, this was quite tough. I feel like this was quite tough. I also feel like it was less successful than the LOL dolls, but I shouldn't feel that because I have actually got rid of some. And I've hopefully kept the ones that I particularly like. If, of course, when I'm going through the other dolls and getting them ready for being listed or whatever, I change my mind, I will let you know, maybe. But yeah, I'm still giving myself permission to change my mind if I want to. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know which ones you might have kept or got rid of. Let me know what you think of the ones that I'm keeping. I think we've got a tough road ahead of ourselves with this whole Dolly downsizing thing, because I got all my Barbies together the other day and there's a lot of them. So that's for another time. But for now, thank you for joining me in my Dolly downsize journey, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye.